You command the seer, so you may have some insight into his disposition.
Who?
The one who is a little snooty.
Oh, yeah, sure, I command him all right. I'm like the pimp master hustle mama of all snippy book shrews.
That's an exotic title. I thought you were the knight.
Wrong. What do you want?
Have you found his demeanor to be chilly on a basis of personal interaction that hypothetically extends beyond the context of a short-lived and lackluster trolling effort?
What the hell?
I thought that your familiarity with him may allow you to furnish me insight. He and you are familiar, isn't that right? He perhaps even regards you with, endearment.
You have no idea, dude. He is so in my grill. Like a stray hot dog that rolled down there and now it's too much trouble to fish out with a tong, so you just watch it crack and turn black.
Is this a common sort of practice in human courtship? Watching oblong meat products tumble into places where they don't belong?
Man, wait, what's this about? You have a thing for him, don't you? Don't deny it, bro. It's pretty obvious.
Am I being accused of falling prey to the human dysfunction of amorous inclination?
Oh, so terrible. All hiding behind your alien shit. Just admit it. You want me to help you win him over.
I just would like to gather some means of gauging his sincerity.
Okay, well, it's easy. For everything he says, take him to mean just the opposite. See, not everybody always means literally what they say, the way Joan and Jude always do.
Maddening. How do humans forge meaningful relationships using such communication patterns? Perhaps it is the human riddle that is truly the ultimate riddle.
Oh my flipping Christ. Okay, if you want Ross to dig you, you gotta leave that crap in the shitty sci-fi novels where it belongs.
It was not a sincere remark. I have been practicing your human sarcasm.
Oh, okay, that was pretty good. Maybe even too deadpan, but it's a start. Keep at it.
Very well. I am beginning to feel as though I am the only one working on our friendship.
Yes, you're on a roll.
That was sincerity.
Oh, alright. Look, if you want to keep his attention, you gotta pull out all the stops. Reverse psychology mind games, all sorts of Machiavellian bullshit. I mean, unless you're really smooth and inherently likable like me, which you're not.
Then keep saying the opposite things.
That's kind of the obtuse alien way of getting to it, but yeah, be like an antagonism ninja like him. I don't know, you sort of remind me of him anyway, so maybe that's a good thing? It could be a horrible thing, though.
It sounds like you are advising me to troll him again, which I have tried. It proved to be a fruitless endeavor.
Yeah, I guess I am. I guess I'm saying be a less shitty troll.
Okay, I believe I understand how to proceed.
Good luck, bro!
Hi, so you get bossed around by the knight. Okay, given that, I have a question.
Who?
Oh, the one who's supposed to be cool, I think? The sunglasses girl.
Why would someone wear sunglasses while using a computer?
I didn't say anything about a computer, but yes, I thought the same thing about how asinine that is, so you know that girl.
I know that anyone committed to such an affectation could only be striving to mask a severe insecurity complex and likely harbours a crisis of self-image. I've been known to lend my charitable attention to such people, but only bossed around by them, insofar as the psychiatric professional has cause to humour the demented for analytical purposes. Or maybe as a lab chimp commands the zookeeper's interest in its shit by forcing him to duck under its trajectory now and then.
Okay, wow, I didn't understand those things, but I mean Danny.
Oh, her.
Yeah, okay. Given that, I have a question about her. I want to know about her emotional vulnerabilities and, what are the tender spots that all those, devices she employs to conceal them? Like all the things she says she thinks are funny.
Tender spots? Your word choices are evocative. Is your design to couple with this lady?
Whoa, no. whoa, okay, no. That just made me feel upset to think about. I just want to really try to bother her. It's hard.
If you're trying to get her goat, you should know she only stalks the animal in the first place for ironic purposes.
No, I'm not really interested in her earth goat, but if that was a figure of speech, then I guess that's okay.
Then we're agreed. You are hellbent on literally seizing her shrill, bearded livestock. I'll assist you. If you really want to burn her, I recommend poetry.
What? Poetry as in, like, those human word bunches?
Yes, they're the most delicious bunches we have. I suggest you serve these crisp bunches of honey and verbal annihilation to her as part of a complete breakfast.
Oh, and will this breakfast injure her shrill barn beast? I mean this figuratively, just to be clear.
A deft cluster bombing of this sort will leave nothing wriggling from the raised earth, except sulphurous traces while it cracks and turns black.
You mean, like the surface of an overcooked protein object?
Yeah, I suppose what I'm saying is this. Drop some hard, peer-reviewed motherfucking science on her ass. Some seriously government-funded shit. It'll destroy her.
Yes. This is the idea that I like.
Your obvious cunning with words should depant Strider with such vivid Empyrean tempest. A nether-regional sonic boom is certain inevitability. But even so, consider me at your disposal to help craft a comeuppance of such unqualified devastation. The angels will weep peril strings of little urban fellows cantillating an unbroken chorus of "Oh snaps."
Please, I think I am perfectly capable of manufacturing these alleged dope human rhymes and starting some sick fires. I don't need your charity that you said you lend to, earth monkeys who toss around poop or something like that. You're pretty snooty. Thanks for your help, but I don't need your help. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to block you.
Your dark-spectacled friend has advised me on a more effective method for trolling you. I think her contention is that this strategy will have the opposite of the intended effect and precipitate a sort of bond between us that is established in mutual antagonism.
I think you're shrewd to have recognized her ploy of sabotage, and you've earned my compliments.
Ah, see, it is working already.
What is?
I've listened to her advice and have resolved to modify the approach slightly. I know what I have to do. What we have to do, really.
What's that?
Remember the first time we spoke?
Yes, but you said it wasn't the first time you spoke to me. We'll graciously omit my embarrassing skepticism, however.
The first time you spoke to me was the second time I spoke to you.
This conversation doesn't sound like your first time either.
This is your second conversation with me, but it is my seventh with you.
And when exactly does your maiden encounter take place?
That's next time.
So, to clarify, if the matching of my first with your second is denoted by 1 equals 2, then the sequence would be 1 equals 2, 2 equals 7, 3 equals 1, 4 equals...
Yes, and the rest of the sequence is simply 4 equals 3, 5 equals 4, 6 equals 5, 7 equals 6. Unless my future self stowed another conversation in between one of those, which is entirely possible, but, I don't want to think about that.
Why is it that when the subject of temporal mechanics is broached, you're sparing troll intellects, etc., etc.?
See, that is what I mean, Ross. You are not as dumb of a boy as I was initially led to believe.
You mean based on the first impression I'm apparently about to make in our next conversation?
Yes.
What could I possibly say that will leave such an imprint?
That is why I have contacted you now. I will send you a copy of our first conversation directly from my chat log.
I guess being forced to cooperate with a stable time loop is the only plausible explanation for my remarks.
Yes, and then I found it sort of curious that during my next conversation with you, Your various mental endowments and wherewithals were not as they seemed. I suspect the stratagem might have been a counter-trolling measure, but then was not so sure and further examination grew warrant.
And what if my countermeasure is to choose not to transcribe this dialogue accurately in the future first place?
But see, I have edited the copy already in ways that will remain secret for now, but you will discover once you type it. So you are destined to edit it no matter what, and what you submit will be what I once read regardless.
Unless I copy it word for word.
Yes, unless I lied about editing it in the first place. Either way, through knowledge of what you will say, I have precisely engineered the nature of your transgression.
So, your trolling strategy is now to put idiotic words in my mouth through the machinery of temporal inevitability and cause me to excruciate over how to subvert the transcription.
Yes.
While being perfectly upfront about it.
Yes, I suppose it's that sarcasm all the time seems laborious to me.
I'll admit, it's a more advanced tactic than I gave you credit for.
Yes, and the providence of this antagonism ninja vice grip pinching your larynx has already begun to supply my purpose with fruit. The chilly frost simmering on our tree of human friendship has begun to thaw.
Mixed metaphor aside, usually ninjas don't announce what they're doing when they're doing it, like when stalking an emperor to assassinate him, or befriend him. But that's fine. I guess the only pointless question we haven't exhausted is why? Why the convoluted artifice?
Danny raised insight into the human psychology of friendship development. By allotting you your side of the conversation, I have you at the disadvantage in your view, and you will seek to reclaim higher ground in successive conversations, 4 equals 3 and 5 equals 4 and such. Your demeanor will be terse, if not saturated with disdain, and it will cause me to be confused and question your motivation, but now I know your motivation because I am supplying it here and now. They will be simple acts of friendly human retaliation.
So, you're not only rigging the first impression I make on you, but orchestrating my revenge for the rigging as well.
Yes, it seems friendship for some humans is a basic aggregation of shallow and insincere hostilities.
That's an interesting take on it. But now I know for sure Danny isn't behind this plan. It's too complicated.
I don't understand. Who better to coordinate such events than the Knight of Time?
You're awfully quick to her defense. Are you sure you don't have a thing for her? It's okay, bro. You can admit it.
I'm hopping to 8 equals 8. Ideally, you will have long since discarded this train of thought.
Okay. I'm going to go talk to my dead cat.
Okay, my Bromo sapien. Are you ready to get straight in, flat down, broadside, school fed up the bone bulge by a dope snot, trinked out, smother fudging troll?
Don't care.
Okay, let me organize my notes here. Okay. Turn on some strict beats maybe. It will help to listen to them while I destroy you. Policeman busts me and pops a trunk. He's all surprised to find I'm toting sick Billy. Whose goat is that? He asks while he swaps the thunk about it. And I just say, it's Dims, you silly goose. But the man says, goose, where? Let me see your hands. And I say, shit, sorry, I didn't know it was contraband. Wow, okay, I am getting off the point, which was about this hot mess, Danny, that you got landed in the cop I mentioned, but instead of your badge and your gun, it's your ass that you handed in, and got handed back to you. Because that's how humans get served, and girls like you deserve to understand that it's a circle and horns in your butt that got branded in. Before I gave your ass back to you, I did that, is what I mean. But I mean, getting back to the point, or maybe two. Actually, the first is you suck, and the second is how I smack you fully. Oh yeah, that rhyme was so ill. But no, just joking, let's see. How can I put this tactfully? I mean, the point's on my horns on my head. Coming at you through traffic aimed at the target on your shirt that is red. We're about to get mad hornographic. I mean, sort of like a graphic crime scene. Not like anything sexual. Oh, whoa, never mind. Okay, getting back to the actual tactical vernacular smaxicle I'm forcing you to be licking and liking, grabbing my horns and start kicking like you're riding a Viking, because I'm your bully and you're not in charge. You think you're in charge, but you're not in charge. I'm in charge because I'm charging in your china shop breaking, your plates and stuff, which I don't really know what the plates are supposed to represent, but fuck. It's just that you think you are the cock that walks hot shit, but when in fact you are not. More like you are something that rhymes with the cock that walks hot shit, but is so much worse than the cock's shit. So, given that, let me be the first to say that you act like you're gold from prostitute and you're really cold shit, flushed from Durst.